Over the past few weeks on City Source, we have profiled the Irving Police Department's Shoptalk initiative. Officers visit barbershops and salons to build relationships with the African American community and answer any and all questions. So what could that program hold in the future? Let's look ahead with Toni Brinker. She is the founder and CEO of One CommunityUSA. Toni, thanks so much for being here.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
First, what is the mission of One CommunityUSA?
One CommunityUSA, a nonprofit, our mission is to bring ordinary citizens and our first responders together to rebuild bridges of trust, create unity, and create the right kind of change that we need in communities across America.
How did you first learn about Shoptalk in Irving?
Oh, many years ago, and I guess this was right after 7/7 happened, I was visiting with Chief Jeff Spivey in Irving, and he brought in Officer Plunkett. Officer Plunkett told me about this wonderful program that he was doing in the African American community called Shoptalk. So he was dealing with barbershops and beauty salons. And so over the past couple of years, he's put that on steroids. He called me and asked me if I'd like to get involved with the community and taking that nationwide, and I said, absolutely, we're there.
So now that you're at that point, what is your vision for having this program spread across the country?
Well, that is our vision, to let it grow across the country. So in kind cities across America, we have similar problems that we see being played out in our metroplex. But this particular program, again, brings everyone together. It gives them a chance to speak about their issues, but more than the most important thing is that it rebuilds bridges of trust. And that in itself would create the right kind of change in the community for people to feel safe. And when they feel safe, then they are willing to start their own businesses. So it actually drives economic development, which creates a better world for anyone and everyone living in a city.
Tell me about some of the things you've already done to give a boost to the Shoptalk program locally, including some financial scholarships, correct?
We do, and actually thank you for asking. We have 5 scholarships, and I'll kind of run through them real quickly. One is called an Ambassador of Peace. This is one person per year who has done the most community service as associated with Shoptalk in our program. We have 2 smaller programs or scholarships that we give, and they are to people who have said, I've just joined the program, I'm really willing to push this forward. We have one called Dream Up, and that is where all of our shop owners and my team and Officer Plunkett identify one person, young person, in the community who they feel needs that extra boost. They mentor that young person for an entire year. That means they may call them one time a week on the phone, how are your grades, how's everything going? And then during the process of that year, they will take them to sporting events, they'll mentor them again on the side, and then they will help them apply to an accredited trade school or college. That money is paid directly to the trade school or college, provided that they are accepted. And then our last award is what we call a mentorship award, and that's where an owner of the shop will mentor someone who he now employs. So it gives the community a way to get integrated into the shop owner's business. It gives Irving Police Department a way to bring the community together, again, for the benefit of everyone.
What are some of the other initiatives of One CommunityUSA?
We have several. We have a reentry program. We're focused on people coming out of prison. We have 50% of those happen to be veterans, and the other 50 are general prison population. We have a program called our Foundation of Trust. That is the old Stephen F. Covey program called Speed of Trust, which has been modified now called Foundation of Trust. It brings equal numbers of citizens together with first responders through a program that lasts about 3 months where people discuss issues, can be heard, which is extremely important, and then they become certified ambassadors. They get to pick their replacements, so you can actually take it from, say, the original 2020 and end up with 1,000 people in a community, all dedicated toward the betterment of their community and coming together. We have Power of One, which is a program we typically like to do 4 times a year. And that is where we will bring in keynote speakers. We might have it in an African American church, we might have it at a university, we might have it at a music hall. But we talk about relative issues in a safe environment where people can hear different views and that we all walk away together as one. So we have about 12 programs. If you put them all up, if you were like standing them up on top of this way, put a roof line on it and said this is a safe neighborhood. So education, advocacy, all sorts of things that we address in these really good programs that bring each one of us together for the betterment of where we live.
And I've seen you at some of these programs before. You always have the symbols with you. I have the wristband right here. You have the ribbon. Tell me what these colors mean.
All right, symbolism is very important. This is our unity ribbon. And for those in the audience, the yellow represents citizens. That's me. And the blue on the other side represents our first responders. So what we need to understand that a first responder by definition is anyone who serves or protects. They've taken an oath to do this. So people that are in the blue also happen to be in the yellow. And I might add, there are many people who are ordinary citizens who sometime in their life become a first responder. They either save a child's life, they've either seen an accident on the highway, they've helped someone, but they actually have stepped into the role in the blue. So you put the two together, you have a unity ribbon, and many times we'll wrap these around a tree. So the cool thing about that is officers, when they're driving at home, they may see that this ribbon is on a tree. They understand that the people who live in that house or apartment, or maybe it's on their truck, they believe in our mission of bringing people back together for the benefit of mankind.
Toni Brinker, thank you so much for being with us today.
It's our pleasure. Thank you.
If you missed any of our previous stories on Shoptalk, look for them on our Irving Police Department playlist at youtube.com/thecityofirving.